The Siyata Dishmaya. Okay, we're going to speak about conversion, which is an important topic. It's something that's on many people's minds. And so there's a section here that comes up in the Torah, the Heilige Torah here. So let's see this section here, B'siyata Dishmaya. Oh. So inside the Torah, in Likutei Moharan, Torah Zayin Tinyana, so the Rebbe says something beautiful. So we're speaking about having compassion. We're speaking about what happens to a person when they leave this world. But essentially, you don't leave this world if you left your das. If you leave your das in this world, then you don't leave this world. You're both in the upper world and you're down here all at the same time. And we said that you have to have students and children, because students and children will keep your das in the world. And I'll just read some of the words just to bring us into the vibe. Al kain, nechshav ha'olam k'toyu v'avoyu, v'al zeh nemar lo yisoyu bara l'sheves yitzar. I did not create the world, God said, for desolation. I created the world to dwell within it. And who does he want to dwell within it? People. What does it mean to be a person? To have das. Ki tzrichen liyashev es ha'olam sheyeh miyushav ha'olam b'nei adam daika. That the world should be filled with human beings, which means das. Dehainu mibnei deya. People that have das, sheyoiden es Hashem yizborach. That they know God, which means the opposite of the NPCs, which is what an animal is. An animal is an NPC. It's programmed as such, and therefore it does its programming. Now he's telling you about the inner working, the inner light of the mitzvah, the first mitzvah in the Torah of having children. To fill the world with human beings. Human beings being people that know God. We spoke about the importance of having friends. We had a whole long section about that people should make friends. And the importance of having friends, the importance of being a good friend.
I literally messaged my friend and asked, how is your Avodah Hashem?
Which means...
And they were like, what? Never been asked that before. I'm like, yeshiva.
Okay. Now, by the way, by you doing that, you're living the Torah. By you messaging, and we tell our chevra around the world, if you could message one of your friends right now and say to them, so how is your relationship with God going? I suggest right now, message any of your friends right this second and say, how is your relationship with God? And you will smile like, oh, like that's like, oh, yeah. I'm not used to saying things like that. I'm used to messages like, so when we going for dinner? But imagine messaging them and just saying, how is your relationship with God going? Send them a message. I'm not trying to dare you to do something. I'm just saying that would be then taking this Torah and making it real life.
I'm going to text you.
Oh, very good. No, by the way, if you do that, no, don't chicken out. Let's go. Just say that. Because he's going to see that message and there's going to be a warm feeling of we're talking about God together. That we're in this relationship together.
If I message anyone else, I'm not going to get a response back. At least
But even if just the fact that you're talking to somebody about God is already bringing you into the relationship. And therefore, we spoke a lot about friendships, the need to have friends and to talk about Hashem with your friends. Kedei lahachnes das bechaveroi, that when I speak to my friend, I'm sharing das, I'm sharing godly consciousness with them. Shezeh ikar yishuv ha'olam. This is the main developing of this whole beautiful world, is that there should be people, she'ha'olam yishuv mibnei adam ha'hainu mibnei deya, she'yoidin es Hashem, the people are talking together about God. And then the Rebbe said, Al kain, therefore tzarach kol echad lasoik bezeh lahachnes das v'yirah shamayim bechaveroi. That we should all be spending time talking to each other, because then we're sharing our das, and it will continue. We're literally birthing people. She'al yedei zeh, that through this, chaveroi, nasa chaveroi b'chinas talmid eitzlai, that your friends are turning into your students. V'azai k'sheyimlu yomov, and then when a person's days have been completed, v'yagi ezman istal kusoi, and when the time comes for me to journey back up, and we welcome our friends around the world, we're so happy to have you, to learn with you. V'yenechshav ki'ilu hu ba'atzmai mamish kaim b'zeh ha'olam. When you do that, it's like you're mamish here in this world still. You're still mamish in the world. And we don't come to what King David told us. Where King David said, Oy vey. How do you translate oy vey? Oy vey. That oy vey to somebody who goes to the upper worlds and he does not leave a replacement. Asher ein khalifa islamai. Who is that replacement referring to? So the Gemara says, Chad Amar Ben, then Chad Amar Talmud. One of the opinions says it means someone goes up without leaving children. And the other one says he goes up without leaving students. Well, we just said now that if you speak to your friends about God, so your friends are turning into students because you're giving them das, and that das is now able to continue and proliferate in the world, and you remain in the world. Hainu ki yesh loy chalifos. If you do this, then you have a replacement. Shenishar daita acharav al de ben oy talmud ki ikar hu hadas. The main thing is that I'm sharing connection with my friend. Because shenishar hadas acharav, and when the das stays with him, it's like you are here in the world. So paint me a story. Two guys hanging out at a Burning Man concert. What are they talking about?
Molly.
Is that the burning thing?
Yeah, it's drug. Yeah, what else you do at Burning Man?
Oh, so the time with drugs. Molly. So are they infusing each other with das? Could be they're infusing each other with other substances. But are they infusing each other with das?
They're nuking the das.
So they're nuking the das, which means, so now after the Burning Man concert goes on, so what's left of them? Did they give das, did they give anything to each other that will then stay with them forever? What if they had a DMC though, for real? What if in some spun out crazy way on all those drugs around all the Avodah Zarah, Hashem Yirachem, one of them says, you know what? Who made the Burning Man? Whoa, bro, like, you're getting too tripped out for me here. Like, I'm just by the man burning. I never thought, like, who made the Burning Man? Where does he come from? Oh, maybe the sun made it, because it's burning. Yeah, but who made that? Who made the sun? The angel on top of the sun. Well, who made him? And maybe at that Burning Man concert, a person arrives at an Avram Avinu moment. He has an Abraham moment.
Avram Avinu is the real Burning Man.
That's right.
Oh,
Mamish. Thank you for Mamish. Thank you for mentioning that, because what Yosef is referring to is that the first test of Avram Avinu was that Nimrod throws him into the cauldron of fire in Ur Kasdim, and he comes out alive. And we always like to mention from the Kubriner, the holy Kubriner Rebbe says, then greater than the miracle that Abraham wasn't burned by the fire, that Abraham was so on fire for God, it's a miracle that he didn't burn the furnace. He was so on fire for God, he was the burning man. It's amazing he didn't burn up the cauldron. That's a greater miracle. Wow. Yosef always knows how to connect everything.
As a connector, that's great. But ideas and people.
Mamish.
When he was like so like, what, he was like literally on fire? Like,
He was so on fire, the Kubrina says a greater miracle is the whole cauldron didn't just get burned up. I can't believe the cauldron was, unaffected.
It's hard to
Avram,
comprehend. Someone could be like that. I don't know.
so on fire for God, so into God. So imagine now that Burning Man concert, people are actually talking like this. So after the Burning Man concert ends, so people are literally continuing. That das that was implanted is now continuing. And this is what it says, Chalifos. So he said, King David is warning us, make sure you're not one of these people that ein Chalifos lame. Chalifos means a replacement, but it's the acronym, these letters is Rosh Tevis. Pi yedaber chachmos v'hagus libi tevunos. Also from King David. That the mouth that will speak wisdom and the murmurings, the yearnings of the heart with understanding, that will be your chalifos, that will be your replacement, that you spoke in this world, words of wisdom, and that your heart was bubbling up with all sorts of Torahs. Ki ikar hu adas, the main thing is the das. Shubachinas pi yedaber chachmas v'hogos libe tuvunus. Shezeh ikar hashara v'chalifos. This is the main replacement that you leave in the world. Masha hayemedaber chachma tuvuna im chaveroi. This that you spoke with your friend, words of meaning, things that actually had substance to them. V'hichnis boy das. Now it's interesting, where do we see the word hichnis? We'll speak about this more tomorrow morning. And you put into him das. Emes. The Yiras Shamayim Kanir La'el Valkein. Pi yedaber chochmas v'hogas libi tevunas rosh tevis chalifos. Kazei ikra chalifos v'ashara Kanir La'el. Okay, now let's get to conversion. Ube'emes, says the Rebbe. Ben v'tamud hu kulo yichad. When it comes to a son and a student, it's all the same thing. What do you mean? How could a son and a student be the same thing? One's a son, one's a student. Ki ben hu gam kein Talmud. V'gam a Talmud hu gam ken ben. A student is your son, and your son is your student. How is that? Like the Gemara says, Kol ha-melamed ben chaveroi. Anybody teaches the son of his friend, Torah, ki ilu aso. It's like he made him. It's like he made him. So Chaim Kramer quotes a well-known idea in Genesis 12:5. Look at that, we opened right there. V'yikach Avram es Sarai. We're speaking about here, Genesis 12. I know Ted Cruz and Tucker were handling these psukim here, speaking about this. And Abraham took his wife Sarai, Ishto, his wife, Ves Lot, and Lot, ben Achiv, the son of his brother, Ves Kol Ruchusham, and all of their wealth, Asher Rachashu, that they amassed, Ve'es HaNefesh Asher Asu Becharon, and the souls that they made in Haran. The souls that they made. What souls are we talking about here? Who are these souls that they made? Says Rashi, Asher asu becharon. What do you mean they made souls? What do you mean they made souls? Says Rashi, Shechnisum tachas kanfei hashchina. Because Abraham and Sarah were bringing these members of humanity underneath the wings of the divine presence. They were teaching them Torah. They had a tent set up. They made a nice chassidische verbrengen in there. Some cholent, kegel. Probably would have been healthier stuff, I imagine. I mean, I'm saying that is a health food. It doesn't have to be. If it's like pure meat and good, herbs and stuff like that. And they were sharing, and they were talking to people about life, talking to people about God. And it was an inn. It was free. And afterwards, they came to Abraham and they said, can we pay for this? At least say thank you. And he said, thank the one who made it. Don't thank me. Thank the one who made this. Thank the one who made this. And they would bench. They would say Birkat HaMazon, which is one of the 613 mitzvahs. Many times people ask, we have questions from members all over the world that ask a question like, Rabbi, could I say the Birkat HaMazon? Can I say the grace after the meals if I want to? So if any of our friends right now would like to say grace after the meals, the answer is yes. You open up a siddur, you can open up a prayer book, and you could say the grace after the meals and say thank you. You can say it in English.
Can you say it on your iPhone?
Can you say it on your iPhone? You can. I generally think it's better to pray not from an iPhone, because we have a custom that after we pray and after we use items that are holy items, so we give them a kiss. So we kiss our Torah. You kiss something that is precious to you, right? You kiss your wife. Something that is precious, you kiss. So we kiss our holy books. I never saw somebody, I hope not, after he prayed from his phone, give it a nice kiss. Because the answer is, there's other stuff on the phone that is not always so good. So a prayer book is just dedicated to prayer and conversation with God.
Do you mean like it has the potential to like have other stuff on the phone that isn't good? Because like, what if you only use your phone for like Safari and like going on YouTube to learn and for any time?
So if a person tells me, I never saw one thing on my phone ever, so then it would be exclusive. But most people, it would be hard for them to say that. Dare I say, they let me look at their screen time. It's called an audit. Anything but the screen time, Rabbi. Anything but the screen time. So I'm happy to check it out if you want me to see your screen time and see what's going on with the screen time. And then you can make a real evaluation if we think that the screen time is something that would be of a holy nature. Rav Gav had a very nice thing. He said to a person, he said, let's just be honest. He said, how much of your phone do you use for productive things? Meaning on a scale of 1 to 100, 100% being 100% productive, and 0 being no productive. And he said, let's even make it better. He said, of the percentage of what yes you use for productive things, let's call that you're going to color your phone green. And of the percentage that's not productive, you're going to color your phone red. So if I were to be looking at your phone here, how much of it is red, how much of it is green? It's a different way of looking at your phone. How much is it green? Is your phone shining green, productive, good? Without even saying that red means schmutz, God forbid. For sure that goes without saying. But not productive. Get lost in a black hole of funny videos of cats jumping through hoops.
And they're not even real anymore.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
4 hours later, but no. Now we're on to dogs through hoops, and now horses through hoops, and now interesting animals that you never heard of going through a hoop. Now the hoops have fire on them. Now they have, spiked hoop. I don't know what's going on. Sounds dangerous. So spike now goes to other things, and there was no schmutz there. Just 4 hours later, in some TikTok black hole. So how much of your phone is green and how much of your phone is red? I ask our chevra, give me a percentage. How much of your phone is green? Don't be shy. How much of your phone is red? Write a number in. How much is a green color? Is it 60-40? Green, 40 red? Is it 80-20? Green, red? How much is productive? What do you say, Chevra? Let's see some of the answers. How much is productive? Green, and how much is red? 100% green.
me that.
35.
Screen time. That's not the only way to check.
How much is green? How much is red? Stop is saying 10% green, 90% red. Stop. Stop that. I appreciate the honesty, though. I really have to tell you. The fact that it's... So how can we stop? How can we change that to 90% green? How do we change that? America First, Theo, thank you so much. The green and the red. I'm focused is saying what green and red. We're talking about your phone. What percentage is green, which means productive, and what percentage is red, which is non-productive? Javier G, are watching spiritual videos productive? I'll let you decide that question. Let's say that the answer is yes. That spiritual videos could be productive. If you feel that it's bringing you to a good place, it's making you closer to God, let's call it productive. So what percentage? Who wants to be honest? To be really honest, I know these are personal questions. It's like when you mess with somebody's screen time, it's like you went too far, Rabbi. You just, that's like, that's personal. That's just too much. Eric, interesting answer. I have a red cell phone and a green cell phone.
That's smart.
So, but I want to ask you, which one is the red? Is the red your business phone? I don't know. Is the green one your business one? And that's productive, you're doing business. I don't know what the red one is. That, the burner phone? Javier, 80 green, 20 red. Ambassador of Truth, 70 green, 30 red. So, first of all, I respect everybody that's answering right now because it's showing you that you're thinking about your life. Let's just make a simple calculation. How many years does a person live? We should all live till 120 years, 180 years, B'ezrat Hashem. How many years average? 70 years? 75 years? How many years more or less is a person sleeping? Let's say a person at 8 hours a day. Okay, I know we're going to do some math. Let's do some math together. So 8 hours a day. So how many years are you asleep? 25 years. Okay, we're just doing some simple math here. 25 years of your life. You're sleeping. So how many years left? How many years left? 50 years. You got 50 years left. Okay? Let's say most people, many people, they'll work a 9 to 5. 8 hours. Boom. Clipped. Work. It's an important thing to do. I'm not debating that. Okay. How many years of your life? 25. Okay? So you're only 25 years of just, let's call it life. 25 years left of life. That's not that many years. 25 years of life. Okay? Who wants to really be brave now? How many hours a day are you now using your phone? Not the 8 hours of work. Okay, so clip that for a second. Within the 8 hours a day that's left, that's all that's left. Out of those 8 hours, how many hours are you using? It's interesting, the two places that we use the word user is when it comes to an internet user and a narcotic user. So how many hours are you a user?
People use their phones while they're at work.
So I'm saying, take away the 8 hours. Take away that 8 hours. The non-8 hours of 9 to 5. How many hours? Who wants to be...
Does that include like any other screens, or just phones? Does that include like laptops?
Yeah, laptop screen.
Any screen.
Okay, so how many hours a day? In that final 8 hours of your day, how many hours a day are on the screen? Numbers, anybody? Bueller. Let's say a person does 4 hours. So now the question he has to ask himself is that 4 hours, so how many years of his life is that? It's another 12 and a half years. Which means how many years does he have left? 12 and a half years. Now, he's got to do other stuff, right? Like he eats, bathroom. So how many years is he actually alive?
But that's already part of life. You see, that's already part of life. Like you could be eating like with your family, eating with a friend. Like that's,
So all I'm pointing out is
not just eating like. Person's not just like eating alone. Like if they're eating alone, that's different. If someone's like eating with other people, like that's a good. That's a
for sure. Yeah. So I'm just saying, in the final 25 years of life, it's not so much. If 4 hours of those, let's just say 4 hours, are non-productive hours. They're like watching cats jump through, hoops and stuff. It means that he's taking out of the 25 hours that he's left of his 20 years of his life that he has left, he took 12 and a half of those years with cats jumping through hoops. And even if you tell me not about this Breaking Bad, it's the best show ever. Of your 25 years of life left, you felt that 12 and a half of those years needed to be Breaking Bad episodes on rerun? Because I got to do Chazara. If you don't, you forget the whole thing, and it's just too good, Rabbi. It's too good. You don't understand. It's so good.
It's overrated.
Okay, fine. I never saw it, but I see the way people talk about it. Oh, so good. So good. Was it worth taking your 12 and a half years of life? You could have done anything. You could have run to be the president. You could do anything. So here, I'm not even talking about the schmutz, God forbid. I'm just talking about not productive usage. Not productive usage. So back to Avram. So he's sitting in the tents, and he's teaching them benching, and he's teaching humanity how to understand and speak to God. And he's converting people. Says Rashi. And this is our main topic of today, and we're going to continue with this for a couple days, is the entire topic of conversion. If a person wants to convert to be a Jew. Blank wants to also talk about Zionism. To convert. So says Rashi, listen carefully. Avram Megairis HaNoshim, Abraham is converting the men. V'Sara Megayeres HaNoshim. And Sarah was to convert the women. Also, you see that the men were making sure to work with the men and the women with the women. Now, it's interesting. Where did Rashi understand that from? Because it says the souls that they made. Because if a person is going from paganism to connection to God, what were they giving them? Das. This is it. They were making human beings. They were turning NPCs into human beings. A pagan world. A world just being run by support the latest thing. And they were completely red-pilling the world. Mom, red pill. What do you think was going on in Abraham's tent? Red pills, boys. Red pills everywhere. And the world out there, they're trying to scramble, shoot them blue pills, quick, blue pill them. Nimrod, blue pill bazooka. Current thing, blue pilling everybody. Paganism. And Avram is like, no. Avram Ivri. Abraham the Jew, who was standing on the other side of the river. Me'ever liyam. The whole world is saying paganism. The whole world is saying blue pills. And Avram Ivri is standing up to the entire world. And people started to hear this because he was speaking words of Tom. He was speaking words that would make sense to people's hearts. It made sense to their souls. It was breaking them out of their NPC, blue pill nightmare. Remember, the nightmare was that guy with the steak and the wine from the Matrix. It's like an eerie scene, right? It's like, yeah, I love my steak and wine. He's like, it's not even real. It's all just but ignorance is bliss. Not for the soul, because the soul goes on to the next world and understands that as a continuation to the journey. This is just the beginning of the story. Red pills for everybody. Red pills.
That's a question. Like,
Hit it, Yitz.
No, you just mentioned like soul and like the body. The body doesn't feel pain, the soul does. Is that like what hell is? Is that like the soul, like, or is the soul's in pain, or is the body in pain? Or is this like, or is it...
So, what we call Gehenim, Gehenom, is that the soul goes up and it sees a story of every single thing that he could have done in this world. He sees the potential he could have reached. He sees everything that he could have achieved in this world. And then he sees another video of his life. And the discrepancy between the two videos is Gehenom. Of look how much time I just wasted. I just wasted 12 and a half years. No, but Breaking Bad is the best show ever. He said, look what you could have done during that time. Now, if you argue with me and tell me that I believe that Breaking Bad is actually productive, I'm happy to hear that argument. If you think that it's making you into a better person, closer to God, a better husband, a better father, a better friend, I'm happy to hear the point of view. But the pain of the soul is look at all the lost opportunities I could have done. That's all blue pill stuff. It's just stay, don't fall, stay in line, don't ask any questions. That's the world of the Yetzer Hara. Don't become something special. You don't think when Avraham Avinu was telling the world about God, there wasn't all of these Instagram accounts telling people don't listen to him, like he's this crazy Abraham. They were probably hardcore, hit pieces on Abraham. But you have to be able to see past that. That's how the blue pills want to get you.
But no matter what a person does, unless they're a perfect person, they're going to be. Right? It seems like a little unfair because unless they're perfect, right, they're going to be in a little bit of pain.
Unless you do Teshuvah. Teshuvah means that even through the things that I did wrong, as long as I see those as growing opportunities, then they don't become weaknesses anymore. They become strengths. Because there were ways that helped me. I went through certain things and I learned from those lessons. You turn them into mitzvahs.
How does that work? How does a negative? It doesn't just get erased. It becomes a positive.
It becomes a positive because that very thing that was a challenge for me, or that very thing that I struggled with, I now realize it taught me things that I could have never known without that challenge. And therefore it catapults me to greater closeness that I could have never had I not gone down that bad place. Like a recovering alcoholic, somebody who he can help people like nobody can. Because he's like, I went to those dark places, I see how bad it is, and now I'm here to help. I could help you. He could use it as a strength, not despite what happened, but because of that. Because of what he went through, he becomes a mighty person. Because of it. Teshuvah. Teshuvah is very powerful. Teshuvah changes our life entirely. So Abraham is converting all these people. And converting means that they're just coming into the connection of the one God. They're coming into connection of the one God. And it's fascinating when somebody converts to Judaism, when they get called to the Torah, they get called up as Ben Avraham or a Bat Sarah. Es hanefesh asher asu b'choron. Now, how is that deeply connected to our Torah? Because when you teach somebody, it's like you're giving birth to them. Because what's giving birth to somebody is das. They're infusing das. They're giving wisdom.
Is that why das is like the child of Chachman?
Yes. They're building children in front of their very eyes. And then when a person goes up to Shemayim, so he's still down here. Es hanefesh asher asu b'choron So Avram is converting the men and Sarah the women. V'mala aleim hakosuv ki'ilu asum. And the Torah says as if they're being birthed from Avram Avinu. Let's just think about that rationally for a second. They came into Avram's tent. And what's happening? Well, they're sitting in Avram's tent. So they're still with all their blue pill stuff. They're still with their pagan gods and stuff. And Avram starts talking to them. Describe one of those, pagan chevra, transitioning from pagan, support the latest thing, NCP. Describe him now moving into a place of connection to Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. And try to think how that transition is actually a birth. That there's a birth happening. And then try to think inside yourself. How me going from some blue pill stuff that I'm going through, because we all have our things that are still holding on to an old thing. And then me transitioning into Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad is also something getting birthed in me. And who's birthing me? The tzaddik? Remember, the tzaddik's das is here. And the das is continuing. We said when somebody teaches, they're becoming a child. So the Rebbe's having kids, like a lot of kids still looks like. So you see there's this like inner energy of transitioning from something pagan towards God consciousness that includes a birth. And also in the Torah we see that that's the transition from an animal to a human being. The animal being the NCP, the NPC, and the human being being the activated Neo. In the movie, does everybody start in the Matrix?
Yes. Except for like 3 other people that are working to pull everyone out. Like Morpheus and all those guys are trying to pull people
He
out.
never was in the Matrix?
What happens is in the trilogy, like
How did they wake up?
They're in the machine and then the memories covered the goo.
Who was the first one?
So what happens is they found out in like the 3rd episode of the trilogy
Out of the
that
first person.
they have like this reset, when they went to like the final boss, like the guy in the room with all the screens, he basically told Neo like there was a quote unquote chosen one, like there are at least like 5 before him, and they each came every time. They were given an option of either like reset with like 25 chevra and like try to break everyone out, or I forgot what the other option was. And then Neo went to go save Trinity and was like, instead of like restarting and saving everyone, that like destroyed like the algorithm and the whole thing. Like, this is like what I remember. I don't like, but I remember like they like went through it at least 5 times, like 25 different chevra. They like had the option to restart every time. Like the quote unquote chosen one was given the option, like took the option to restart.
So who made the Matrix? The answer is Snake. Snake made the Matrix.
It's interesting. The Matrix, the place is called Zion.
It's called Zion. And that's like that's what they're trying to get to.
No,
That's a place outside of the
That's outside.
simulation.
Outside the-
When you get
It's in the
outside
real
the simulation.
world.
Oh, but the only problem is that their Zion is just like a bunch of pretzels and dancing with bongo drums or something.
Right.
They made them- I'm saying-
it's like heaven, right?
That's such. Someone was asking about Zionism before. That's like such a trafe version of Zion. It's like just the place that we all like. Morpheus is like mamish, like dancing like a rave style. So it's like that, and with like he's like the best djembe player. So that is the trafest Zion there is, and that's what we learned when we were learning the whole sugya of Zion, of Tzion, of really going through Isaiah and through King David, and really seeing what Zion is, and it has nothing to do with that.
So
It's
I
a
think-
place of just purity and unity. Yes.
I think their Zion in the movie is not supposed to be like a utopia. It's supposed to be like a Zion in Gullus. Maybe like analogous to what we've got today in terms of like that wasn't like the end goal.
That wasn't the end.
Yeah.
And then even their Zion is not a good thing because it's pritzes and it's the whole problem. We'll have a couple questions from our Chevra B'Siyat D'Shmaya.
I got one here. Someone wanted to know, what is the significance of women wearing a wig, and can it be any color or style?
Oh, wonderful question. Thank you. The question is about wigs, head coverings. So we learn in the Torah by a Sota woman that this is a woman who is a suspected adulteress, which means this woman is not a good person, meaning it could be her soul is good, but she has slipped into very bad behavior. She was warned not to go into seclusion with a certain suspicious person, and despite those warnings, she still decides that she's going to go into private spaces with a suspicious man. So she comes to the Beis HaMikdash, and there's going to be a whole ceremony of seeing if she is telling the truth or not. So it there says that the kohen is Poirea Roisha, that she takes off the head covering. So you see already in the Torah that married women were covering their hair. What is the inner reason for that? So one of the reasons is that hair is something that is very special, for a woman especially. It's something that has an allure, it's something that's special. And therefore, there is a seductiveness. And a woman who is married, so her connection and her beauty is really for her husband. And that's really her beauty and her majesty, is that she has a special connection, a special relationship with her husband that is not found with others. And therefore, a woman would wear a covering. It would also signify that she's somebody that is married. I would suggest if a person wants to get a head covering, that it shouldn't be over the top. It shouldn't be so realistic and so,
Better than your normal.
it could be very nice, but it shouldn't be like way over the top. And a person should think, what is befitting of their dignity? Is it befitting of their dignity to have, a jaw-dropping wig that is making everybody turn their eyes, like how gorgeous it is? So even though technically their hair is being covered, but they're attracting a lot of attention. And a woman who's married is seeking attention for the beauty that is her soul. And therefore a good husband will make sure to give her tremendous love and respect and build up her inner life force and love her personality. And then after that, there'll also be the physical element as well. So thank you so much for the question. Much appreciated. Maybe time for one more. B'siyata d'shmaya.
What does the devil represent in Judaism and doesn't have free will?
The devil does not have free will. The devil is essentially like a programmed angel from God. It's an angel that is an inclination that pulls a person into doing things that make them not respect themselves. And therefore this devil that we call the Yetzer Hara gets a person to do something. Why does a person get angry? One of the greatest ways not to get angry is have somebody video camera you getting angry and just like losing it, and then have them play the video back to you a day or two later, and then watch yourself getting angry. And you're like, oh no, he didn't. Oy vey, no he didn't. And therefore, be very careful of the Yetzer Hara that tries to pull a person into doing things that he won't respect himself if he does them. Okay, Rabbi, so we're picking up right now in 1 minute with one of our final topics on Mashiach. Have a wonderful day.